All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are breaking down a really mind-bending concept from a lecture by author and researcher Gregg Braden. We're going to explore this kind of hidden technology that's already inside your brain, one that connects something as simple as a yawn to experiences that, well, some people might call them miracles.
So it all kicks off with a really simple question. You've been there, right? You're sitting in a room, someone across the way yawns, and suddenly you get that same unstoppable urge yourself. Why? I mean, what is that? It feels completely automatic, like a reflex we have absolutely no control over.
Well, the answer, it turns out, is a very special set of brain cells. And according to the source material for this whole explainer, these cells are responsible for so much more than just passing a yawn around. They might actually be the biological key for things like empathy, for learning at an incredible speed, and maybe even for witnessing the impossible.
To really understand how that works, we have to take a look at a pretty recent scientific discovery. I mean, one that has totally changed our understanding of how we see the world and, maybe more importantly, how we see each other. So, let me introduce you to the star of the show, the mirror neuron. These were first really written about in scientific journals back in 2004, so this is new stuff. And this is a type of brain cell that has a truly amazing property. Get this, it fires when you do something, say kick a ball. But it also fires in the exact same way when you just watch someone else kick that same ball. Your brain, in a very real biological sense, is mirroring the action it sees. And check this out. This slide shows you exactly what we're talking about, using the kind of brain scan evidence our source points to. So, on the left, that's the brain of a professional musician while they're playing the piano. See all that activity lighting up? Now, on the right, that's the brain of a non-musician who is just listening to that same music. I mean, look how similar those patterns are. Their brain is lighting up as if they were the ones playing, but they haven't touched a single key.
And this goes so far beyond just music. This is why you physically tense up when you're watching a tightrope walker. It's why your heart starts pounding during a car chase in a movie. It's literally the biological foundation for empathy. When we see someone else hurting, our mirror neurons sire, and it allows us to feel, literally, a shadow of what they're feeling. Our brains are hardwired to experience the world through observation.
Okay, so if our brains are this powerfully affected by what we see, the source then asks this incredible question. What happens when we witness something we believe is completely impossible? Let's take a look at the demonstrations that the material presents. Our first example takes us way back to the story of Milarepa, a Tibetan yogi from the 11th century. Now, he wanted to teach his students that their beliefs about reality were the only things actually limiting them. And to do this, he didn't just give them a lecture. No, he gave them something powerful to witness. So the story goes that Milarepa would walk up to the solid rock wall of his cave and just push his hand into it like it was wet clay, leaving a perfect handprint behind. Now, what was the point? It was to force his students' mirror neurons to process something that their logical minds were screaming could not happen. By seeing the impossible, their own sense of what was possible had to expand. Okay, an ancient story is one thing. You might be thinking, well, that was 1,000 years ago. But the source material for this explainer brings up a much more modern and documented case. One that really challenges our modern beliefs in the very same way Milarepa challenged his students.
This case is about a woman who had a life-threatening bladder tumor, one that was considered inoperable. But before the event you're about to hear about, she did a ton of prep work. This was not a passive thing. She was actively changing her body's internal environment through special movements, diet, breathing, and, this is crucial, by changing her own deep-seated beliefs about her condition. The event itself was actually filmed in a medicineless hospital in Beijing, and the whole thing lasted just 2 minutes and 40 seconds. In that tiny sliver of time, something happened that, according to the source, modern medical science has absolutely no way to explain. And this just illustrates the claim perfectly. On the left, you're seeing the sonogram image from the beginning of the 2 minutes. The tumor is right there, clear as day. On the right, that's the image from just 2 minutes and 40 seconds later. It's gone. This was witnessed in real time by the practitioners, and of course, captured on video for everyone to see. So what in the world happened? How is that even possible? The source argues that this wasn't some random, one-off miracle. It was the application of a very precise internal technology that's based on a totally different way of thinking.
Now, this is the key point right here. The practitioners and the patient, they didn't focus on fighting the tumor or attacking it. Instead, they all worked together to generate the feeling, the complete emotional and biological state of the woman already being healed. They started from the finish line.
And you know what's wild? This idea, as the source points out, it isn't new at all. You can find it in these ancient texts, like the Gospel of Thomas, which was discovered at Nag Hammadi. This translation doesn't say to just ask for something in prayer. It says to feel as if it's already done, to be surrounded by your answer. So let's actually break down the formula that the source proposes. First, you create a state of harmony, of coherence between your heart and your brain. This is a real, measurable physiological state. Second, while you're in that state, you generate the genuine, authentic feeling of your outcome, as if it's your reality right now. And third, you anchor that feeling with a sense of profound gratitude. Okay, so let's bring this all home with the final, really powerful takeaway. Because this isn't just about ancient yogis or unbelievable healings. This is about the way your brain is working, right now, every single day. Here is the absolute core message from our source. Thanks to those mirror neurons, your brain literally does not know the difference between watching someone do something and doing it yourself. And on an internal level, it makes no distinction between vividly visualizing an experience and actually living through it. Either way, it releases the exact same chemistry into your body, creating a biological reality that matches the picture you're giving it. And that, of course, leads us to the final and most critical question of all, the one this entire explainer has been building up to. Knowing that your brain is constantly watching both the world outside of you and the images you hold inside your own mind, what are you feeding your mirror neurons?